I was running, I was puffing, I was rushing as I came off the train, and I was finding my way among the thousands of people coming off the London Underground. I was late, heading for the Paddington train station. And listen, if you speak to my wife, she's going to tell you, Ian did that to me all the time. But here's what, I had bags because I just finished a weekend in London and I was heading to Penzance. So here am I running, really hustling to get to the train station. I got off the tube at Paddington and I got to find my way across to British Rail to get to the train to Penzance. So I'm running, I'm huffing and puffing. I finally get to the platform and I'm walking through because the train is 2 minutes before it leaves, 2 minutes before the train leaves. So I'm rushing to try and find an appropriate seat because you get a lot of people in London. And as the train progresses along its path to Penzance, the seats ease up. But most of the times, if you're not early, you do not find a seat because you will have to stand for the next 5 hours. It's a 5.5 hour journey to Penzance. So I'm running through the crowd and I'm making my way through the crowd, trying to get to the front of the car because I'm going to Penzance, and most people who get off at the train stations before tend to be on the cars further back because sometimes these are the cars that stop at their particular smaller stations. So I finally get to, I think it was probably the second car, and I sat. I got a seat, and there were, 3 other people on the seat. I found my way, I sat down, and I had my book because I'd made that trip several times before. I had been there several times before, so I knew that no one was going to speak to me on that journey because they don't. The people come with their newspapers, they come with their books. They had, Walkmans at the time, in their ears, really focused on themselves and really wasn't engaging in conversation. So the train took off, had my book, and began reading. And we were about 3 hours into the journey when we stopped. We had gotten past Plymouth and we were getting into the West Country, as they say, when I suddenly, I heard when he sat, or the person sat, but I was kind of focused on what I was doing. And the person said hi. And honestly, I was taken aback. Is he talking to me? Is he speaking? And then I realized there's an older gentleman sitting right across from me. There was very few people in that particular carriage. And he started a conversation with me. Now, generally, I don't drink beers, I don't like it. And he offered me a beer and I took it because one, I was really appreciative for the conversation. And this is something that happened to me for the first time on that journey. There's 2 things that this gentleman said to me over 35 years ago that I will never forget. And it has shaped my life over the years. He said to me, the greatest barrier to progress is a closed mind. The greatest barrier to progress is a closed mind. Now that was, wow, I was pretty young. And so I made a note because I wanted to remember. Because he said to me, while you have some clear things you believe, if you close your mind, you're not going to learn. The second thing he said to me is that the school of experience is expensive. Only fools go there. I was like, what do you mean? Shouldn't you experience things yourself? And he was saying, that's not what I'm saying. What I'm saying is that there are people who have gone through situations and circumstances and have done things that you have not done that you may want to do. Use and utilize and learn from their experience. Now, this has stayed with me my entire life. And I want to take some time just to share with you that you and I need to leverage the experience of others. Many times we're trying to do something, we're trying to accomplish something, we're trying to go somewhere, but we try to do it on our own because we think that that's a path that no one has tread. No one may have trod that particular path, but here's what. There are people who've accomplished something similar. There are people who have done things that their experience is going to help you navigate that particular issue or that particular path that you're on. The greatest barrier to progress is a closed mind. So how closed is your mind? Are you one of those who says, well, I know this. I have lived for, 54 years now, and there are things that I may have heard before that when I listen to it again, I get new insight, I get new context, I get new ideas. So I'm constantly listening and reading because other people have passed that way before. Do not allow yourself to be narrow-minded and narrow-focused because you won't become the best that you can be. So determine where you want to go. Determine what you're trying to accomplish. And find people who've either done it before, who've had experience in that area, and find them, seek them out. Years ago, I was on my way to the Middle East, Yemen. No, I'd never been to the Middle East before, and I was about to embark on a journey of working 2.5 years in an Arabic country that I had never been before. I didn't understand the culture, it was a different religion. I didn't know it. And here was I, young man taking his family, I don't know if it's halfway across the world, but a significant distance, thousands and thousands and thousands of miles, to a very different country. And some people thought I was crazy. Yemen? What are you thinking? And I remember speaking to Ian, and God bless him as he passed. And Ian said to me, my dad lived and worked in Yemen for a number of years. If you want, I can arrange for you to see him when you go through the UK. And I was like, absolutely. And listen to me. I sat with this gentleman who had experience in the Middle East, who had experience in Muslim cultures, Arabic cultures. And he was able to help me just understand the culture, understand the context. Now, the experience was tremendous. I mean, I couldn't ignore having the experience, but here's what his experience did for me. His experience enabled me to be able to go into the culture with a better appreciation and be able to operate and conduct myself in ways that will be respectful and also ways that will make me more effective. There are people out there who've done what you're trying to do. There are people out there who've experienced what you're trying to experience. And you'd be amazed at how willing they would be to help you. I really want to encourage you to leverage the experience of others. And I want to remind you of what this gentleman said to me. He says, the greatest barrier to progress is a closed mind. So don't close your mind. Now, have your values, have your sense of non-negotiables. But I say to people that, I have, this set of values, but once you don't cross those, everything else is negotiable. And even on those values, I'm willing to have a conversation. So the greatest barrier to progress is a closed mind. And secondly, the school of experience is expensive. Only fools go there. Leverage the experience of others. Take time to learn from other people who've done it before you. Now, you can do it in a number of ways. You can read books. You can watch YouTube videos. You can buy programs from people who've experienced it before. Do not try to go it alone. It's going to take you much, much longer. Find a mentor, find a coach. And sometimes I found that sometimes it's a physical individual, sometimes it's somebody who is remote, sometimes it's a book, sometimes it's a video series, sometimes it's joining a club. Because the other people in there have had different and varied experiences from me. So The School of Experience is expensive, only fools go there. And I'm repeating it because I want you to understand that leveraging and learning from the experience of others is a much quicker way. It is a shortcut to getting you to your dreams, to getting you to your goals, to getting you to your career, to your business. If you take the time to stop and to begin to consider, what exactly am I trying to learn? What exactly am I trying to accomplish? What are some of the skills that I need to acquire if I want to get to that place? And if I understand these things, that's why clarity is essential. Your ability to be clear about what you're trying to do, what skills you're trying to acquire, which is going to get you there. These things are essential. What knowledge do you need? If you understand these things, you are better able to find the people who can help you. I'd shared in a previous post, if you want to go fast, go alone. If you want to go far, go together. You got to take people along with you, or you got to have other input to help you along the way. Because here's the thing. The information that you already have, you already used to the extent that you will. Because the courses you've been to, the experiences you've had, some of it you've never used. And you probably will not use unless you get someone else that gives you different input or different context to that information, a different way to look at that information. So let me encourage you. Let me suggest a coaching methodology to help you get better. Leverage, use, look for the experience of others. Because if you do that, it's going to shortcut the amount of time, it's going to short circuit the amount of time you would need to get to your dreams, to get to your goals. So remember, the greatest barrier to progress is a closed mind. Open your mind to learn from others. And secondly, the School of Experience is expensive. Only fools go there. Coach Ian B saying to you, leverage the experience of others. Find a coach, find a mentor, read a book of someone who's done it before. Begin to cultivate and to structure your mind in a way that you continue to learn, you continue to grow. Be a student of life. Be a student and a proactive learner. Blessings. Give us some feedback. Looking forward to hearing from you. Take care.